welcome into the garden here at Gardeners Cottage in Blakeney. A little bit of an overcast late May, June to show you around this garden, but there's plenty coming on. Just look at this rambling rector. One of the first ones. It's always about a week to a fortnight ahead of the one at the Mid-Norfolk garden, but already budding up really beautifully. And the roses generally are just starting their season here. This one on the southern side of the cottage has already burst quite a few buds. Not sure whether this one got actually wet, looking at that, the way it's browned off. Doesn't look like frost damage to me at this time of year. I think that probably is the heavy rain we've had here over the last 24 hours. Front of the cottage was really beautifully planted with aquilegia, but then again, just look at the seed coming on these. It's a lovely purple variety that's grown here and self-seeded for a long time. The hollyhocks that Blakeney's so famous for, looking healthier than I suspected they were going to be at this stage. I thought we were going to have a real problem with rust, and while we have got some on this plant, I don't think that's going to interfere with the flowering. They're starting to put their spikes up. You can see the buds coming here, which in a couple of weeks are going to give us those fantastic characteristic hollyhock blooms here at Gardeners. This is a lovely combined planting directly opposite the main snug window here at Gardeners. It's a rambling rector rose with a philadelphus. I don't know the variety of the philadelphus because it's one we're borrowing from our neighbours and has probably been planted here 10, 20, 30 years. It's a quite established and large shrub that's now probably around 15 foot tall and just trickling over. We're getting the best of it, I think. This little courtyard in front of the house just traps the scent, and it is absolutely heady mock orange. Really nice one. Quite short flowered. Be finished by second week in June, but it's just worth having that blast of scent coming through into the garden. Japanese anemones, wow, they won't flower now for quite some time, but these actually are budding up. Just look at that. Won't be that long actually. It's going to be a funny old year this, with stuff coming on at different times to what traditionally you'd expect it to do so, and then round into the main body of the back garden. Osteospermums still flowering away beautifully on this patio. Just look at these rosebuds. I do think this is going to be superb. Just starting to open up, looking nice healthy growth on this one as well. Had a lot of black spot here earlier in the season. With it being so mild, I don't think a lot of what would normally get killed off by the hard weather has done this year. More hollyhocks coming around here, sprinkling a little aquilegia, occasional sisyrinchium, and the roses just trickling. But just look at this back wall. That's a climbing iceberg. There's two of them there. One came away from the wall, the one nearest the house, and had to be hard pruned back. Going to flower later, but should do very well. And this one that had been mugged by the little flowering plum tree that came again from behind the wall in the neighbours, that was removed last year, is doing so much better this year as a consequence of the extra light and water it's getting. This whole board has been fantastic this year. Daffodils and narcissi just tailing away now. We leave all the growth on these completely natural until it browns off, and then we'll just tidy it up. But if you can put up with letting it just do that, far more nutrients go into the bulbs, and your flowers next year will be all the better for it. Lilac's about ready for a prune now. Ideal time to give it a good hard prune back and allow this fresh growth to come from lower down. By doing that, you'll keep these flowers at head height where you see them best. If you just let a lilac romp away, then again it will be a 15-foot shrub with all the flower above your head. We want to keep this one quite compact, so a great time of year to give it a good haircut now and encourage all that growth from lower down, which will flower the following season. This big rose in the front is again really doing well. Just look at this, lovely pink buds, striated, almost dotted, opening up again. You can see that dotting on the petals just coming through, and then a creamy yellow centre fading to white. Younger bloom here, you can see the apricot colour in there. gorgeous, old-fashioned. It's probably a Peter Beals one, this. I will look it up and try and put the name in the description if we can find it. But again, this one's been planted here maybe 20 years. Struggled a bit with the overlying trees, but this year it's going to be better than ever, I think. And then the lawns, we're doing a partial no-mow May. Just another couple of weeks left before we'll give this a tidy up, but we've just not passed through it to show that it is actually not being completely abandoned. And I think it works really well. Encourages guests to actually walk to the paths. I'm sure if kids are coming in with footballs, this lot's all going to get trampled, but isn't it looking beautiful? We've got quite a bit of oxeye daisy in here, but it's the little daisies that are just scattered across this in the most delightful way. It looks like petals or snowflakes have been falling on this lawn, and with the paths working through it, looking particularly nice. By cutting the canopy up on this weeping pear tree, it's a flowering pear, it never fruits, it's a silver leafed tree that's been here probably since the 1950s, 1960s. We were allowed to create this little shaded walkway around the back of it. Again, shrubs on the back have always been in semi-shade. This is an area where we've had a lot of problems with ground elder creeping through, and the ivy tends to mob just about everything it can get a grip through. But we've been working on this bank quite a lot over the winter period, and we're now going to replant with a lot of ferns to try and give that lush background drop to this border. Garden itself, very nice and peaceful, as you can hear, right in the centre of Blakeney. Just starting the half-term weeks let this afternoon, so we've got guests coming in and we're getting everything ready. Thanks for watching.